Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, Chrissy Teigen is quitting Twitter, and some nominees are quitting the Oscars. We have it all in the hot dish. Then it is a baby boom like no other. Shane is taking us to a farm that is flush with love and llamas. And y'all have had a lot to say this week. Leo, roll it. We are opening up the Jason Show mailbag to answer your burning questions. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Mendota Heights. Good morning, Egan. Good morning, Apple Valley. And good morning to all of you. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Kendall has the day off. Please welcome my original sidekick sister. If Kendall is extra crispy, she's original recipe. It's Shane, everybody.
Hey. I love the prompter. Literally the first line was, Kendall is not here.
Kendall is not here is the first line of the teleprompter. Okay. Hello, my darling.
Hi.
It's so good to see you.
I love that I just get to keep popping back.
I know.
Every once in a while.
A little whack-a-Shane, little whack-a-mole. Okay. It's so funny that you're here. The irony is not lost on our staff because if you watched yesterday, and I really hope that you do, you may have noticed, Kendall and I, just like you and I, we have a rapport. We pick on each other like brother and sister constantly. And my joke with her is that you're fired. Like, I fire her every day for a variety of things.
Yeah.
If she doesn't know a movie, well, you're fired.
I've got a few phone calls from you.
Exactly. I've called you to come in. So we have this running joke. Well, yesterday I fired her again. And I said, you're not going to be here tomorrow. I had no idea when I snarkily said that. Look at this. That sausage, Italian sausage, the perfect pizza topping.
It is not, and you are wrong.
Well, nope, you are wrong. And since my name is on the floor, I win. Tomorrow on the show...
Everything's your fault because your name's on the floor,
That's right.
remember.
Tomorrow on the show, Dax Holt will join us, plus Kendall heads to a local printmaker shop, if she still works here. That's coming up tomorrow, Green
Don't
Pepper.
joke like that.
Seriously, it's not funny. Well, it is, because she's not here and you're here. And it was so funny. We're going to open up the mailbag. This one isn't in there, but this goes to this. I received a sweet email from, I believe it was a woman, and she goes, I haven't turned into your show for a while, but I turned it on. You really pick on Kendall a lot. And I go, oh, well, you just watched a day when it wasn't balanced. Like, she comes after me too, but yeah.
I think it's pretty even.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty even.
And I told her, I said, oh, yeah, we pick on each other. We wouldn't have a show if we didn't pick on each other. You and I pick on each other.
Can I just throw one thing in there?
Absolutely, please.
I
You have an
love
hour.
Italian sausage on pizza. It's my favorite topping.
Thank you. It is.
For a reason that I'm here today.
There is a reason you're here today.
Back you up.
We both like Italian sausage on our
There you
pizza.
go.
Speaking of food, let's get started. Everybody roll it, Leo. It's time for the hot dish. Here we go. Okay. One of the most entertaining Twitter accounts in Hollywood is no more. Let's all wear a black veil. That's right. Chrissy Teigen has announced that she has deactivated her Twitter account. She says it no longer serves her positively as it serves her negatively. She said her life goal is to make people happy, and the pain she feels when she doesn't is too much. Known as having a really strong clapback game, she said, whip. She said that she's taken so many small two-follower count punches, two-count punches, that she's deeply bruised. Yeah. She's taken a few too many punches from the Twitter.
I'm surprised, honestly, she made it this long.
Yes.
She takes a lot of heat. And she also puts out stuff that she
does?
knows is going to fire people up.
Because
that's her thing.
I was saying to Jeff, I was saying to executive producer Jeff, I said, isn't it funny how I put myself, we follow her every social media move closely, but the reason is because she's a powerhouse on social media. That's where, we really do connect with her. So that's why it's a big deal, and that's why it makes news because we don't cover everybody quitting Twitter.
Oh, no.
But I will tell you, quite honestly, I get it. The case in point, like yesterday, was a day where, I try not to engage with people. My executive producer, Jeff, and my friend Alexis always jokingly yells at me to not engage with people. I engaged yesterday with a woman who thought I'm being mean lately. and I engaged with her for an hour and a half. And I thought to myself, that is an hour and a half of my day that I'm never going to get back, and I'm never going to win people over. If they like me, they like me, and if they don't, they don't.
So you don't feel like in the end it was like we've come to a mutual agreement to feel
Yeah, a little
way?
bit,
Okay.
but still, why did I do it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a lot of energy. So I get, and I don't think you have to have a TV show to feel that way. I think you can be a dentist. I think you could be a frontline worker and get flack on social media. It is a soul-sucking endeavor sometimes. It really is.
Yeah, I quit Facebook.
Did you?
3.5 years ago.
Oh, that's right,
And I
you
haven't
did.
looked back. And it was for the same reason. For whatever reason, I had more success on Instagram and Twitter with people than I did on Facebook. That's
Yeah.
where it seemed the trolls really like to come at you hard.
Yeah. And it's hard.
I
And
just
it's
let it
hard.
go.
And it's hard to distinguish constructive criticism over just mean trolls. And you take everything kind of personally, and it does just I call it nicking at your soul, and it does. There are days where it does knock me down, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to open an ice cream
Would you ever
shop.
quit
I will.
social media? Really?
I'm not being dramatic. I'm not doing this for attention. I really do mean this. The day that I leave here and the day that I leave the radio show, the number 2 reason will be the constant negativity.
Yeah.
Everyone feeling they should comment about my hair. Like a woman said, my hair looks like little Hitler. I don't need that. Oh no, that's very true. The hair is,
No, nope.
So yeah, it'll
Can't
be
make
the
that
number
joke.
2. It'll be the reason for my own mental health that I leave, that
Right.
I stop this. Yeah. Next in the dish, Sarah Gilbert was on with Drew Barrymore yesterday, and she revealed that her first girl kiss, was with Drew on the set of Poison Ivy. I forgot about this. Look.
Look, now I'm like gonna blush. Drew
Yes.
was the coolest person that I ever met. And that's what happened.
Well, we were supposed to kiss in the movie, but then we started practicing in the trailer, which was kind of fun.
We had to practice, right? It was really just us doing research.
Exactly. We were like, oh, I guess we should practice because we wanted to look good on screen.
The film was Sarah's very first movie. It is, Jeff just said this in the thing, it's another reminder. I mean, we can look at E.T. and think of it. You forget how long Drew Barrymore has been, because she's a contemporary. You forget how long she's been in the business. She's been in the business since she was like a toddler,
Even Sarah Gilbert. I mean,
Same
both of
thing.
them. I mean, they've been around for a while, but it's true. Seeing that and hearing those stories, I forgot about the movie Poison Ivy.
Girl, it was scandalous.
Yeah.
It was scandalous. We didn't have Katy Perry back then. I kissed a girl and I like. No, it was scandalous. But that's all right, breaking barriers.
Just rip the
Now it's
Band-Aid off.
nothing. Now that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's like a comma. Yeah. Next in the dish, the producers of the Oscars are facing backlash this morning after their decision to ban nominees from Zooming into the show. Deadline and Variety are saying that some publicists and studio executives have complained about logistics, costs, and quarantine issues. Now here's the deal. Many of the nominees live outside the U.S., where non-essential international travel is restricted. So some may or may not be able to make the trip. Other nominees are working on productions that require living in bubbles. And leaving the bubble would set production back for several weeks, affecting jobs of people that have nothing to do with the Oscars. California, by the way, requires a 10-day quarantine for visitors. So producers, so far, I haven't said anything about this. I think they're going to have to backtrack a little bit. And full disclosure, I liked the idea of not allowing them to Zoom because how sick we are all of Zoom. However, I feel bad. I feel bad because think about it. I don't give a rat's rear about the budgetary concerns of the movie stars.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you have to pay to come into LA 2 weeks. You know who I'm thinking about? The gaffer. I'm thinking of the sound artist, the costume designer nominee that doesn't have a 50-person glam squad. I'm thinking of them paying for the logistics of having to come into LA to get an award that they were nominated for. That changed my whole opinion on this.
And also just the fact that you're taking flights, you're hanging out at the airport, you're having to drive maybe with the drivers, things that could endanger you, and they're doing their best to stay safe right now. So to make them endanger themselves or put themselves in that position, it doesn't seem right.
Maybe they should have worded the email like this, hey nominees, we would prefer if you could, our preference is for a great visual presentation We would prefer that you be in person. If you cannot, please fill this out. Give us a reason. You can make them give it a reason. And then give some exclusions. Be reasonable. Steven Soderbergh, by the way, the director of Aaron Brockovich, is one of the producers. So I got to tell you, this backlash isn't going to go away. They're going to have to change. They're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
Because now, I mean, it's not just a vanity or a budgetary concern. It is a health thing. It is. And if you're shutting down production of other movies, you're affecting the industry that you're celebrating. You are affecting the industry that night's all about. So
they clearly didn't ask anybody first their thoughts.
Again,
on that.
what do I always say? I want to be in that meeting.
Yep.
I want to be in that meeting where everyone says, I don't think we should Zoom. Because again, nobody likes Zoom anymore. I'm sick of it. We had an hour-and-a-half long Zoom meeting at the radio station. Do you think I went to it? Nope. We have a lot more to come, everybody.
Are you supposed to tell that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But they don't watch anyway. We have one tomorrow. We have a Zoom meeting tomorrow? I won't be at that one either. We'll be right back, everybody, back after this. More fun, more hot dishes on the way. Sharon Stone's basic instinct is to open her heart to the one and only Oprah. What brought these two superstars together? Plus, you know we love celebrating a fabulous entrepreneur, and today Kendall is introducing us to another woman who has turned her passion into a creative-fueled endeavor. And from sweet letters to constructive criticism, our mailbag runneth over this week. We're answering your letters in just a little bit.
Do you still keep in contact with Patti LuPone, Dave?
I haven't heard from her in a while, but
No?
I'm hoping one of these days she reaches out again. Yeah.
Send her an email now. Go on.
Send
Go on.
her an
Go on.
email.
Have you got her email or a number?
I've got her email.
Yeah, send her an email now. Go on. Go on.
You know
Fine.
how to.
Terrified.
No, go on. Go on. Send. What should he send to Patti LuPone? I think it should be, hey, Patti, just checking in. All good. Love, Dave. Have you ever emailed Patti LuPone about stuff other than work?
No, it's strictly been business when she's
You're
been
not
on the
friends?
show. No, we're not. No, we're not friends.
But you want to be friends, and I actually think you would be a good friend to Patti LuPone.
I mean, she's a living legend. Of
Well,
course,
there you
I
go.
want to be friends. Yeah.
Go on, email her now. Why? Why? Because she might email back during the show.
Can I just ask, is this going to be in the show before I email this to her?
Part of the risk.
We'll send it and we'll see.
I mean, it's ready to send.
Little drum roll, G.
It just went.
Send.
A little peer pressure on Corden last night. Will Broadway legend Patti LuPone respond to producer Ben's email? Who knows? Have you ever sent one of those emails that you just maybe like the next morning you regret?
Not to like someone like that. I don't have a line to Justin Timberlake, you know, to just send him a quick note.
Very true, my friend.
So otherwise, I probably would, and I'd get banned.
Yeah.
Blocked.
Yeah. I would send it to Oprah and then feel really bad. Dear
What would you
Oprah.
say?
What?
What would you say?
I don't know. Dear Oprah, may you feel my super soul by coming on my show? Why is that creepy? She has a show called Super Soul. Okay, it's a little creepy now that I said it out loud.
We'll word it a little differently.
We'll reword that. I'll work on that email in the next segment. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of talk show hosts, here's a late night one. Hi. Jay Leno is apologizing to the Asian communities for years of making jokes that at their expense. The apology comes after a 15-year campaign from the group Media Action Network for Asian Americans. The majority of Jay's old jokes perpetrated stereotypes about Asian communities, about their diet. He made a dog meat joke rather recently within like the last 2 years. Jay said at the time he thought the jokes were harmless. He said whenever, and this is a quote, whenever there was a complaint, there were two sides. Either deal with it or, as he would say, screw them if they can't take a joke. And too many times, Jay said, he sided with the latter even when he knew in his heart that it was wrong. Let me be clear on this. This is another thing that sometimes people misunderstand about me. I don't like cancel culture. I don't like it because of the absoluteness of it and the lack of nuance. I think every case, and I hate that term even, I think there is a nuance to a lot of these conversations, and Jay Leno was one of them. There is the one side of it where I read all of Jay's apology, and I would encourage you to do the same. It is probably one of the best celebrity apologies ever. So any other celebrity getting ready to read that one, first of all. Number two, I think he means it. I was speaking to my friend Alexis, who is part of the Asian and Pacific Islander community, and she, and I value her perspective, and she's like, it's genuine. The only thing, Shane, that makes me go, is he just did a joke about, like I said, about a year and a half ago. You didn't know the jokes weren't good back then? That weren't appropriate? That's the only thing.
Didn't somebody report him?
Yes.
To Gabrielle Union? And then she got kind of shut down?
Yes.
That's a bad look.
Yeah.
Also, honest question, do you think he wrote it?
I do.
You do?
I'm going to give him the benefit, because you know
have
why?
Publicists and,
well, you know why?
PR people.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My apologies. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I didn't mean to step on you. The reason is Jay Leno is famous for not having an agent. He doesn't have a publicist. Through his entire, most of his run on The Tonight Show, he negotiated his own deals with NBC. So I take him at his word. I think he wrote it. I don't think Jay is a bad guy at heart. But the only thing that makes me go, is the fact of, the joke rather recently. Jay, you knew in 2018 that a dog meat joke wasn't appropriate. That's the only thing. But he's apologized. I also think you've got to take people for their apology and then let their actions speak really loudly. Yep. Next in the dish, Sharon Stone is coming out with her memoir called The Beauty of Living Twice. Oprah sat down with her for her next Super Soul interview, which airs on Discovery Plus. In this clip, a little preview, she talked about the struggle women in Hollywood have as they age. Look.
I think that as we grow older, we have this societal pressure where people start to try to tell us that our worth is diminished. And I think that this is a time in our life when our worth is the most enhanced. I think when we're 40, as women, we get to this incredibly powerful place. And it's the time when I have to say that I believe the white male society starts to tell women, you don't have worth. It's the first time when you're 40, when you're told your worth becomes less. And I believe that's because it's the first time in your life when your worth becomes so much more.
Yeah.
You become the most powerful you've ever been.
I love that.
Yeah.
The interview drops on Discovery Plus on Saturday. Sharon is one of those of that generation, and I'm talking, and you'll be like, how are these two together? Madonna, Sharon Stone. Those two are two of the women that I grew up with that were one of the first generations of women that started to redefine what it meant to age in Hollywood or just in life. Sharon redefined 40 isn't old, 50 isn't old, 60 isn't old, and boy, does she have a point with Hollywood. I mean, it's ironic. I just did a conversation on the other broadcast about Marilyn Monroe, and the fact that she was considered washed up at 36. She died at 36. But even before the last few movies, Hollywood considered her washed up. That's unimaginable, but it's not unimaginable. It was just in the 60s. So, yeah.
It's too bad it takes us ladies so long to stop caring.
Yeah.
To take the power back
that.
for ourselves. Because now, so I'm reaching that 40-year-old age and caring less and less about what people say. But I have a 7-year-old who's just, just getting into that world. And I'm like, oh, I wish you could have this.
I think it'll be very different.
I know.
Because you know what I mean? When we were young,
I hope so.
My age, when I thought of 46, I thought, oh my goodness, the Crypt Keeper. And now I feel basically, I don't feel any different than I did at 30, 34, my hands look worse, but anyway.
Well, your hand model career might not be happening.
Wow, thanks for diminishing my dream, Shane. Next up, a baby boom in the Southwest Metro. I love it. Only on this show do we go from aging and Sharon Stone to baby llamas.
I mean, we needed a good twist.
We did. They don't have this on The View, see? A local llama farm is, okay, the teleprompter is a little, okay. Thank you. A local llama farm is introducing some new additions, and Shane got to meet them earlier this morning. Roll it.
Say hello to baby cria number 1 at Carlson's lovable llama farm in Waconia. This baby, by the way, is a week old. and a significant weight already, I will say that. All right, I'm putting you down. Now, Kriya number 1, Kriya means baby llama. And we don't do names yet, so it's just Kriya number 1.
I guess, yep.
What do you call them?
Calypso's baby.
Calypso's baby. I like that too, though, because she did she did all the work there. Rick Carlson is the owner here. Thanks for having us out. So Kriya season started a little early. You already have 2 babies. One over here resting, by the way, just 3 days old. This the first time she was out today?
This is the first that's been out. That was born on Monday, and Tuesday, Wednesday were pretty rainy. So, yeah, so we got it out this morning, and these 2 have been running around, and yeah, she's wore out.
Not only the first time running around, but the first time also that these 2 got to hang out together, and they're going to be best buddies here on the farm.
They will be, yep.
What's a visit like to Carlson's?
Well, we have somebody take you around. So a group leader, whatever you want to call it, and they'll talk about llamas and all the unique things about them. And llamas are incredibly interesting animals. And then the baby thing, we'll talk about the babies and all the unique stuff that happens there. Take you in the baby pens. You get to take llamas for a trail walk.
Oh, fun.
And then brushing and feeding treats. And we do have a little gift shop in the end. So we schedule an hour and a half. And it's all llama. It's all llama.
All llama all the time. What's the most common question you get from people?
Do they spit?
That's it. That's what people want to know.
Yeah, that's probably the most asked question.
And we've been here for a few hours, and we've seen 1 llama spit because one got a little too close in their business.
In each other's space.
But otherwise, you say that's really not that common at all.
Overrated.
Oh, yeah. Overrated. What we need to know is that they're lovable, they're docile. Anything else we need to put on that list?
Very huggable.
Huggable. If you guys saw too that I was holding baby number 1 there earlier, just wait till you see what happened earlier this morning when I tried to hold baby number 2. Watch this. Oh,
You
hey.
need to hold him already?
Oh, I mean.
Just put your arms under mine.
What?
There.
Oh, I'm really.
You're fine. Just hold tight.
Okay, no, be calm for the animal.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I have PTSD watching that back. Nobody wants to drop a baby ever, but especially not on TV.
That's a little squirrely llama right there.
I'm literally out. I held my breath watching that.
Nervous
and I
watching.
knew what was going to happen. It's all good.
My mom has a favor for you. She just texted during that package.
Sure.
She goes, please tell Shane to get that baby llama for me. She would like, can you?
I'll throw it in the back of your car.
Perfect.
Now I know how to hold them. I'll just throw it in
put in the back, and we'll just dump it off.
You'll love
dump
that.
it off at Dars.
You'll love that.
Yeah. So just go in the middle of the night. That guy will never. It's just 1. She just wants 1.
They have like 30. They're good.
See? They'll never miss the baby. We'll go in the middle of the night, you and I, like little.
We probably shouldn't plan this on air though.
Oh, that's right. We're on TV.
Yeah. Let's talk about it in the commercial break.
Perfect. For more information on the llamas, check out CarlsonLovableLlamas.com. That's a great name. Lovable llamas.
They sure are.
They sure are. That's right. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after these words. Back in a moment, everyone.
Do you want the baby llama?
No, I'll give it to Dar. I don't need that. Our hot dish continues now with our insider to the stars. Please welcome back to the show the co-host of the Hollywood Raw podcast and one of our favorites. Look at him. It's Dax Holt. Hi, buddy.
Hello. Good morning, Jason. How are you?
I'm well. You talked we've been discussing this guest in the commercial breaks, comedian Joe Coy. Remind folks who he is.
Oh my God. Joe Coy is one of the funniest guys out there. You know, he was on the Chelsea Handler show for a very long time, really got his big moment on Jay Leno. He's one of the, few comedians to get that standing ovation while on the stage at the Tonight Show. And, we actually asked him about that. We said, what was that moment like? He said, that was the moment that really changed my life, changed my career. you know, he went on that show, knocked it out of the park, and the next thing you know, people are calling him, you know, inviting him to do other shows. So he was like, that was my life-changing moment, the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. But Chelsea Handler put him into kind of like a household name because he, you know, started on her show just appearing, you know, on a regular basis, and then was on there all the time. He's had some extremely successful Netflix specials, like he had one in Hawaii. I mean, he is crazy famous, and if you don't know his name, you should go watch his stand-up because it is amazing.
Correct me if I'm wrong too. So he had a Netflix special, and that got in front of a little director, just a real small. He just does
a little guy. What's his name?
Spielberg. Dax.
Yes, I guess Spielberg was on set of one of his new movies, and during the downtime, him and his daughter sat down, watched one of Joe Coy's specials, fell in love with him, thought he was the funniest guy, and decided to reach out to him and said, I want to do something with Joe Coy. I don't know what it is. Invited him over to Paramount to go to the Amblin Studios. And Joe said, you know, I'm rolling up to Amblin. And it was the weirdest feeling. Like, I can't believe Steven Spielberg wants to meet me. And I guess had a great meeting. And now Spielberg is producing a movie about Joe Coy and his life and something he had written, and so it rocket launched this film career for him.
Well, let me reverse a little bit. So the Netflix deal, he didn't have a big deal to produce it. Didn't he produce it himself?
Yeah, so this was a wild story. I didn't even know this before going into our conversation with him, but you know, we see these Netflix deals, the stand-ups, and we just kind of assume, oh, they get there. He fought so hard to get this first one out there. He went to Netflix numerous times, begged them for a special of his own. They kept turning him down, saying, nope, sorry, we've already got all the people we want. So he said, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to risk it all. He spent his entire savings, filmed the stand-up, and, you know, produced the whole thing, packaged it up, went to Netflix, set it on their desk, and said, here you go. I'm offering it to you guys first. They watched it. They called him within like days or something. I don't even know if it was days. It was like hours or something. They watched it and were like, we need this. And it paid off for him because he was like, I literally spent my entire life savings to make this special. They picked it up, and then that changed his life as well. I mean, the guy's so positive. That's the other fun thing about him. He's just positive and happy. He's not jaded living in, you know, in the industry.
He did get serious though for a little bit when it came to the topic of kids, right, Dax?
Well, so he was the first guest that's actually been pretty late to our podcast. and he got on, he goes, guys, I am so sorry. I got stuck at a parent-teacher conference for my son at school. And he's just like, you know, this year has been really rough with the pandemic. I guess his son is in like senior year in high school. And he's like, do you understand what it's like to have a kid who doesn't get his senior prom, who doesn't get a graduation, who doesn't get to do all these big life moments? And he's like, I feel that, you know, sometimes school and teachers and other parents, they need to give these kids a break because they're struggling with stuff that we can't even comprehend because we all got to go through it without problems. And they're having to switch around their entire life during a pivotal time in their life. So you know, he got really serious at that moment, and I thought it was really interesting to see this like father's point of view on the pandemic. I mean, I'm a father, but my kids are also very young. They're not having, you know, we missed like preschool graduation. Not a big deal, you know?
And finally, let's end on some fun. You did a speed round with them?
We did okay. Forget the speed round. We do fan roulette questions.
Oh, that's right.
I think I told you about this. Oh my God, this week was so embarrassing, Jason. We don't watch the videos with the questions that the fans submit. And if you guys want to submit one, just DM us a video to the Hollywood Raw Instagram page. Our producers will watch it, load it into the system for us, and then we just pick a name and play the video live on the air while we're talking to the celeb. This week's question was so horrible. I can't even say it on air. It was that bad.
What?
And Joe answered the question and made it so funny, and it was very X-rated. That's all I can say.
Okay, Dax, repeat after me. Are you ready?
Yep.
I, Dax Holt.
I, Dax Holt.
will never give my producers
Never give my producers
that kind of power ever.
Honestly, Joe took it so well. It just, the second the question came out of the fan's mouth, I was like, oh my God, how's this gonna go over? And it turned into a very funny segment. It was just a very X-rated question from one of our fans.
Because you know Jeff, you know our team here. Jeff is salivating as you're telling the story. He's like twisting his mustache, like getting ready to time it. Ooh, that's a fantastic idea.
But it honestly is the best segment we started up. Like, people are able to get their question. They just don't know what celebrity they're asking. That's why it's so funny.
I love it. Thank you, buddy. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Find that episode of the Hollywood Raw podcast at your local Sam Goody or wherever you find your podcasts. And teleprompter, if you're awake, can you roll up, please? Thank you. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after these words. Stay with us, everybody. Grateful to have you with us today. Welcome back to the show. We love highlighting local makers in our community, people following their passion and using their creativity as a little side hustle. Today, it's a Minnesota woman known for her prints, created using designs that she makes herself. Kendall introduces us to Amy Matthews.
I took my first printmaking class when I was in college at Drake University and just didn't stop. And then I took a few years off after school and picked it up in late 2019 and just was like, why did I ever stop? I really love it.
Have you been able to make a full-time thing out of this yet, or are you still just waiting for that moment?
I think that's everyone's dream, right? Is to bring their passion project into full-time. But for now, you know, it's evenings, it's weekends, and it's kind of still a part-time situation.
Walk me through the basics of printmaking, because this is a very different art form than what people are familiar with.
Basically, it involves taking a substance like linoleum or rubber in this case and carving away a design. So you take kind of a gouge and you're carving out all these areas that are pink. When you roll the ink over it, the stuff that's left is what's printed on the paper. This is called a brayer, and you roll the ink over the design and print it onto the paper. So it's a lot of carving and attention to detail, and also you'll notice you have to do the whole design in reverse.
Now, if someone's watching at home and they want to do it, how do you get the reverse image? Because that's got to be like that. To me, if you're freehanding this, that's really hard.
A lot of the times, I kind of cheat and plan designs like these ones. I just planned it where I knew it would be reversed.
Okay, so you knew it would work.
Yep, so I drew it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna draw this, and I just know that it's gonna be in reverse. For something like this, where it has to be specific, you can do tracing paper and pencil, but basically you just do the design on that, flip it over, put it on the surface, and then that's the design in reverse.
Eagle-eyed Jason Show fans, you might have noticed something special about this specific print.
Yes.
SF. You're like, what do you want me to make? South Fork, Dallas. This is Jason's print of his life. Let's do it. I want to see how you actually do this.
Then we're going to take our brayer and just start kind of rolling out the ink. Basically what we're looking for is, it's kind of the consistency of like an orange peel almost, and then it kind of makes this sound. And then we're going to take that ink and we're just going to start rolling it onto the design. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. I'm just gonna eyeball it because, you know, we're living on the edge here. This is called a baron, and it's used for impressing the ink onto the paper.
It seems like a lot of these tools aren't crazy expensive, other than maybe the ink and the what I'm calling the eraser.
And they're very affordable. It doesn't take a lot of really expensive things to get started in it either.
Right.
Baby baron.
Oh, that one really gets her in there.
Yeah, it really works it in there.
What takes the time in this is the actual carving and drawing up the artwork.
Thinking of what you're gonna carve and kind of coming up with the idea, reversing it, carving it, and then printing is actually a pretty straightforward part of the process.
Right.
This is the best part. So it's called the peel reveal.
That's disgustingly satisfying.
Isn't that great? There you go, you have a finished print.
South Fork all the way, baby. Awesome. Jason, you can thank me later. You can Venmo Amy at.
Can I get her Nemo number? Which is what my best friend Jen calls Venmo. Can you Nemo me some money?
Nemo me.
Yeah, Nemo
Sure.
me. Anyway, here it is right here. Thank you, Amy, so much. And that actually is, if people missed it, that is the ranch from my beloved TV show Dallas. And that is the actual logo there. And that will be, I'm going to get a tattoo probably within this year. This will be the tattoo.
I've asked you before. Where's this going?
On my rear. I'm just joking.
No.
No, it's gonna go. It's gonna go on this shoulder right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Because if I get it there, I don't have to ask permission from Fox or.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Well, you can't wear sleeveless anymore on
That's
air.
right. Well, no, I'll put it up higher. Yeah. I can't wear my sleeveless moo-moo. Yeah. I'll get an email from Sheila. Yeah. Jason. To check out Amy's work, go to her website, amymatthews with 1T art.com. My dear friends, stay right there. We'll be back right after these words. No more sleeveless moo-moos for Jason.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say.
The guys of Yam House. Beautiful shot by our buddy Adam there on the jib cam. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Don't forget to support Yam House. You can find their singles wherever you find music, Apple Music. We love the guys. It's time to read your comments and answer some of the questions you have. Leo, open up the mailbag. Here we go.
You've got mail.
Well, first up, we have to talk about something that happened yesterday. In case you missed it, the Jason Show staff, right there, we do these segments now. We call it family time. The Jason Show staff discussed some of the annoying things that coworkers do, because there was a survey that prompted our conversation.
Yep.
Producer Ted said that he doesn't like smelly food in the common refrigerator that we have inside the Jason Show office. It's the Jason Show office. Well, someone who works at Fox 9 named Lori, her name is Lori, I think I'm pronouncing that right, responded, quote, I may forget my eggs or Brussels sprouts in the fridge sometimes, but let me just be clear. The Jason Show office was my office, and I graciously gave it up to your team. And that fridge was gifted to me by a recent Fox 9 retiree. So really, I'm sharing it with everyone else.
Response?
No, it'll land me in HR. Yes.
Mm-hmm, sure.
And let's be clear, the office, I'll just handle that one. It was a executive producer's office. It was meant for several people.
That was meant for several people?
Lori claimed it. Like, she climbed a mountain, she put a flag on it, and it's Mount Lori. Yeah.
I didn't know that was her fridge, though, because I used to put my creamer in there.
She's right about that. We apologize. I've ordered from Costco a fridge already. We'll be removing Lori's fridge and bringing in our own. Next up, a response to Monday's segment where producer Ted watched RuPaul's Drag Race for the very first time. I ad-libbed and called it Gay Guy Explains RuPaul's Drag Race to Straight Guys. Kelly says, can you please do the Gay Guy Explains RuPaul's Drag Race to Straight Guy every Monday? Tracy says, I really hope this is going to be a regular segment. I love that Jason is explaining drag queens to Ted. Shane, we're going on 6 years. Are we in the 6th season? Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things ever, because Ted looked in the camera with sincerity and he goes, why are they lip syncing? And I'm like, oh, precious. They're drag queens.
Yeah.
It's what they do. It's what they do. They don't yodel, you know.
Is he going to give it another try?
I want him to.
I think maybe a to
And
be
obviously,
continued.
America has spoken. They want more Ted watching drag. Next up, Amy. Hi, Amy. She says, I ran into former intern Kenny this weekend in Waite Park. He was excited someone recognized him from your show. He's getting ready to graduate. Kenny, we've had some great interns on the show, Kenny being one of them. Kenny, few people crack me up the way Kenny does because he's just so Kenny. And he was at a live shot, he's a reporter, and someone goes, are you Kenny? And he goes, yeah, like all shady. Kenny goes, yeah. He was all like, yeah. And the woman goes, from the Jason show? And his whole attitude changed. He goes, oh, that's me.
He's a one-man show.
I love Kenny so much. I love you. Next up, an update on our friend Stephanie Hansen. On Monday's show, she went kayaking in Florida and went across the bubbling spot, which keeps alligators away from the area. As you can see, Stephanie's going in circles, and at that point—
Whose idea was this?
Stephanie's! And at that point, Hansen hadn't seen any alligators while in Florida, despite people warning her about said alligators. Well, yesterday, Stephanie Hansen posted this on her Instagram.
No!
Holy shnikes!
Oh, I thought they were gonna have to use the dump button on you.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. She says, on our drive to Sanibel, we found this monster hanging out on the side of the road in the Everglades. Here we see, here in Minnesota, we see a raccoon.
Turkeys.
Look at that, turkeys.
Turkeys.
He had about 4 friends with him. No. Kirsten has a question for me. Hey, Jason, what are your favorite wings to order at Serum's in Anoka? Okay. I get a lot of questions. I do.
Okay.
But this is one of my favorite questions. Are you ready? Write this down. Ranch-a-lotta, garlic-a-lotta, Ragin' Cajun, Chernobyl for Colin, nobody eats it but him, and extra crispy, extra well done, with a side of ranch and blue cheese and a side of Chernobyl sauce.
I feel like you just recited their entire menu.
No, that's it. Ranch-a-lotta, garlic-a-lotta, Ragin' Cajun,
So just order
Chernobyl.
it all.
What?
Order it all.
Yeah, and always ask them for extra well done. Get a little crispier. Finally, we talked about pizza toppings on the show yesterday. Kendall couldn't believe that I am just a plain. I like cheese and sausage. Terry says, tell Kendall she's wrong about pizza. Italian or any sausage is fantastic on pizza. You're with me on that one.
We applaud you, Terry.
Yeah.
Or team sausage.
I'm going to say team sausage.
Yeah, I don't think I want to use that. Never mind. Sorry. Cut. Anybody else? We have something to go to here.
I'm on team sausage too. Boom! We'll be right back, everybody. Back after this.
I couldn't say that, but you can.
Having some fun today, man. That's what this show's for, just to make you laugh. Welcome back. Hey, all kidding aside for a second, programming alert. Starting on Monday, friends, and on the weekdays during the trial of Derek Chauvin, the Jason Show will be moving to our sister station, Fox 9 Plus. On your screen right now is where you can find Fox 9 Plus on various satellite, cable, and over-the-air stations. And again, this starts Monday and every day during the trial. Now, I will say this will not affect those watching us on other Jason Show stations in Duluth, Rochester, La Crosse, or Eau Claire. Y'all will get us at the same time, same channel. You can also, if I'm correct, you can stream us too, Jeff. Is that correct, I think? I don't know, watch. I probably just said something that's not right. I think you can stream us on Fox 9 Plus. No, maybe not. Okay. Ignore everything I just said. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Well, we used to be able to stream the show. Oh, because yeah, anyway. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, time for the mysterious bubblegum goodbye question. Are you ready?
Yeah, I called it gumball goodbye when I was sitting in your seat.
Would you rather have a personal housekeeper or a personal chef?
Oh,
free of charge.
Definitely a chef. I can't cook at all. Is it like corn dog tonight or SpaghettiOs? You know, like those are my options for my poor kids.
I'm doing chef too.
Okay.
Because like housekeeping, I like to vacuum. I don't mind cleaning. I don't like to do laundry though, but I like to do everything else.
Who cooks in your house?
I do.
Okay.
Colin has cooked 4 meals since 2012.
Same, Colin, same.
Yeah. No, I like to cook. That's not shade on Colin. I enjoy cooking.
Right, yeah. If you don't like doing it, then.
No. And I'm pickier. I will own this. I'm pickier. Colin could eat anyway. You know, muskrat, he could eat anything. I don't even know if
Is that often on the menu at your household?
Muskrat. Tomorrow, Jeff, Ted, and Shane will be back for another staff show and tell. And Shane, I don't want to over-deliver, but promises hers is going to be pretty good. That is going to do it for us today. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you that you're doing it wrong. Take it from me, believe me. See you tomorrow, everybody. Take it from me.